Thank you, Provost Isbell, for that welcoming introduction. And shout out to my parents who found out this morning that I would be giving this speech. Congratulations to a beautiful graduating class of go-getters, doers, and tinker thinkers. And thank you for this space to speak and address you all today. I am so honored and proud to share in this major life milestone with you all. UW-Madison is my home, especially the Black Cultural Center, where I learned to play spades and played Monopoly until 3 a.m. during finals week. And where else did I meet my chosen family, people who poured into me and loved me through the good and bad times. I want to start by sharing a quote from Lorraine Hansberry's play, The Sign in Sidney Brustein's Window, which reads, I care about it all. It takes too much energy not to care. Yesterday, I counted 26 gray hairs on the top of my head, all from trying not to care. The why of why we are here is an intrigue for adolescence, and the how it must command the living. I borrow Hansberry's words today because this quote reminds me that at one point in her life, she may have been someone like me, someone looking over the campus, wondering who I am and why I'm here. And I know some of you may have felt that too. I saw myself in Hansberry's words like I do with many of the people I have learned about throughout my time here. And when I was younger, I never thought that it would be possible to be a part of the change I wish to see within my lifetime. I believe that everything I did today would be for the benefit for generations to come. But I am not Lorraine Hansberry, and all I can do is borrow her words. I had to make my own experiences and learn my own lessons. And one of my lessons started with my very first college assignment. I remember calling my father on the phone crying after receiving a 3 out of 5 on my first reading quiz in the first week of my freshman year. It was a general education psychology 101 class, and I was absolutely devastated, feeling like I had no one to turn to and nowhere to go, and graduating felt comical at that point because of how distant it felt. My parents were there to remind me of the Jamaican values that they raised me with, such as the national motto, out of many, one people, reminding me and my brothers, CJ and Caleb, to stay resilient and that we are Thompsons, and if we lose everything, we have that with us at all times. And I look to my mother as an example of how to uphold these values with grace and beauty. Like many of you, I have come a long way since my first reading quiz, and somewhere along the way, I began to feel empowered by what I was learning and the work I was doing to understand more about myself and what it means to be a student. But my freedom to speak and act on my values does not overshadow my willingness to listen and learn about others' experiences, like being a caregiver and a student, or an athlete and a student, or working multiple jobs or shifts while balancing school. Your stories and experiences, even if they've never been shared, have value. They make us a community of strong-willed and outgoing people. And with social media at our fingertips and communication at an all-time high, it is important that we take the time to listen to ourselves and others. Since my first assignment, I have met professors along the way that make me feel proud to stand in the work that I do, especially my late professor, Tejumala Olaniyan, whose expertise in Black women's playwrights was foundational in my personal transition to African American studies and gender and women's studies. And it was my Freedom Inc. family that taught me to envision my path to liberation and that self-care is health-care, which I immediately adapted into my personal and professional philosophies. I've experienced a polar vortex, as well as a global pandemic, and became a community organizer at Freedom Inc. during the 2020 uprisings for the protests for the movements for Black lives. My best friends Chanel, Jared, and Shira, and my partner Jonathan have helped me develop in all aspects of my life and often taught me to love and laugh again through the good and bad times. Before I knew it, I had learned to rely on my community and the people around me for support and healing, reinforcing that nothing can dim the light that shines from within, as Maya Angelou would say. I am proud to say that I am standing here trying, celebrating, and healing. And I also stand up here celebrating all of the Black women and girls who have marched, organized, and paved a way for me to run fully into my potential. And I look to you all, and I see you all here ready and eager to create new definitions for yourselves, new ways of seeing and painting the world around you. And my hope is that you have found things here at UW to help you envision a world without limitations for yourself within your lifetime. No matter where life takes you after this, I hope that this moment can remain a common thread of inspirations for us all to remain steadfast in our ambitions, even if you lose yourself along the way. I can't say enough about my lessons learned here, but like my undergraduate journey, my time has come to an end, and all I can leave in this space is my gratitude and commitment to doing what I can to motivate and transform and bring transformation to my community. Until we meet again, congratulations and on Wisconsin.